So, is the thing on? Oh, yeah. I get the eye in the sky. Is that thing working? I think that one's better. So, my week. Did I already talk about this? I probably already did. I'm tired. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. So, we had to not die. We had to not die this week. That was our main goal. Our goal was to not die because of all right. So somebody had a thing where they did a thing, and we had to clean up after that thing. And nature forced the hand. So nature is unforgiving, right? So I get a call. Oh, a tree came down on a house. I've heard that story a lot of times. A tree came down on the house, and I'm your tree guy. I'm your first responder. I'm like the tree police. So when the tree comes down, the cops can't do anything. The fire department can't do anything. The EMTs can't do anything. It's me that has to. I'm the guy. I'm the tree guy. I have to deal with all that stuff. So that's a 150-year-old oak right there. Counting some rings, and I got to about 150. It may be older, but there's some rot in there. I couldn't get all the way to. It's at least 150 years old, at least. And it came down on this nice lady's house. I'm saying that politely. Yes, no. Nice lady's house. And I know nice ladies. Politely. What happened was, so I've seen this tree before. I saw it years ago. And I said, well, it looks fine to me as it is, but nature, anything can happen. The brutality of nature is, and I talk about this with everybody that asks, is that tree going to kill me? I'm like, well, maybe not. It's more likely, all right? It's more likely that you're going to be involved in a traffic accident, right? Than that tree coming to kill you. But it does. I mean, trees attack. This was pre-strawberry moon. So we got the strawberry moon coming up. I haven't looked that one up yet. It's probably tonight, tomorrow night, next couple. But this tree attacked and knocked her out. Now, it happens, but it's not common that a tree will actually harm somebody. But this tree harmed her. She had to spend some time with the brain doctors, some time in the and it's going to be probably 6 months of wearing the blue blocker glasses and things like that, and the whole stress of your whole house being fucking demolished. I mean, Get real. Come on. It was a serious harm. But there's a thing when this tree guy, me, and I'm fairly objective, and I freaking love everybody. Not really everybody. I mean, if you're in a if you I don't care what you are in the moment. When I put my Superman cape on, not my Punisher cape, not my. I don't have a cape. I don't have. There's no capes involved, but like the hat, and Punisher doesn't wear a hat or a cape or anything, all that stuff. It's just a turn of phrase. I put that mindset on to help. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care what you are. But I've got my prejudices, and if I see that you're not taking care of yourself, it's like, why should I care for you? And that thought does go through people's minds. If you're not taking care of yourself, why should I care for you? That's one of those things. It's a real thing, and it's in the first responders. We just, it's like, wow, it does not matter if you don't take care of yourself. I'm going to take care of you in this moment because you asked. You asked for my help. You did. You asked for my help. You called. You asked for assistance, and I'm the only one who can assist in this instance. And what got me was she had this little dog, little Pomeranian, little pom Zora, and I my heart melted, and I was like, okay, I got to do everything I can to assist this dog. It wasn't the owner, it was the dog. Of course, I wanted to help the owner in that moment, but in the long term, it was the dog. So, of course, in the moment, of course, I help assist the person, but it was the dog. And the dog was in freak out mode when I met the dog. It had just happened and all that. The dog was in freak out mode. Oh my god! And I carry treats with me, and I got the best treats. I got the best treats, and I scooped up the dog, a little Zora, a little girl, and she was freak out. She was in freak out mode. She didn't know what to do, and she was shivering and all that. And I sat with her. I sat with Zora for a little while, and I gave her one of my treats. And she smiled, and the lady looked down. The lady who has was in care of this little sweet creature looked down, and she said, "Oh my god, I've never seen her smile so I've never seen her smile like that." And I'm like, probably because you're a hoarder, you got all this stuff in your house, and I mean, she was. I didn't step in any poop so maybe she probably cared for the dog, and so the dog was very clean, very well cared for, and everything like that. And because of that, I actually started to care for the lady. So I did everything I could. Every step, I was with caution. I stepped with caution, and because it was a disaster, the whole house was totaled. The asbestos, even it was one of these houses that most likely almost like 95% has asbestos issues, and all that insulation, the roof, Everything was on the inside of the house, not on the outside anymore. And then there was all this old boxes and stuff, with boxes and things. Then you get mold and things. So there's probably asbestos, mold, and there's no roof. And so I knocked on the tree that was on the house, and the tree was angry. And I said, okay, little steps, baby steps, one step, one step, one step. And so I, only because of the dog, I thought maybe she had she's like, I got to get a box. I thought maybe it was like the dog's favorite thing or something. But then I thought about it a little bit further. I was like, okay, well, maybe this box will comfort the lady, and then the comfort for her will transcend towards little Zora, little pom pom, okay, little beautiful creature who's all shaken, all shook. As the cool kids call it. Do they still call it shook? So I risked my life inside a hoarder house to make this lady just a little bit better whole. State of mind, presence for Zora. I tried to make the lady better to help the dog. I mean, that's my jaded worldview. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is, man. If you don't take care of yourself, I don't really, why should I care about you? If you don't care for yourself, why should I care about you? But then the dog was so nice, and so, the dog was very well cared for. She could use, Zora could use a little teeth brushing, but I didn't say that. And that's a different discussion for a different time. But I had to make the lady a little bit better to make sure that that dog was a little bit better. And we went inside that house, grabbed the box, and the only thing holding that tree up was this maple cabinet. And it wasn't like a strong, like, old school maple cabinet made in like old school, it was like, it was just like, it was maple, it was real wood, but it wasn't very well constructed. But that was the thing holding the whole house in place. this little cabinet. And I knocked on the cabinet, and the tree knocked back. I went, tat tat, and with witnesses, the hoarder lady, and the other guy who was, helping pull a box out, both heard the tree knock back. So I'm not nutso, and it's a real thing. Things happen. It's nature. Don't mess with nature. But my job here is done, and I had to pray. It was like 40 hours straight. I was just like, don't let any of my guys get harmed. Don't let any of my guys get harmed. It was like my constant prayer. And then God just was like, okay, I got you wings. Send an angel down. Big wings. Big wings. Oh my God. Thank you, God. So but it's on to the other guy who's gonna have to fix the house to do all the rest of the stuff. And I feel pretty confident that he's got some pretty big wings as well. Right? We've been dealing with each other for a while, a little bit, a couple years, and I'm confident he's got God on his side, or else I wouldn't deal with him. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I spent like yesterday sleeping. I woke up for a little while. Braxton, what's going on? Can I hit the thing? Uh, I don't know how to hit the thing, Braxton. I'm kind of tired. I was about to end up the stream. This it wasn't a live. It was talking about the the tree that killed the house and almost killed the lady, and the dog lived. I don't know. I don't know how to do it, Braxton. But any case, let me see what I can do. I don't know. Hit the thing. Do I hit the thing? I don't know how to hit the thing. I've never done that before. I've never shared a stream before, so I don't know how to do it. How do I do it? Do I okay? Present. Invite guest. Copy. And then do I put in the comment? Paste. And then hit the button. Hold on a second. I don't even have my keyboard name. I'm just talking. No, well, I bet the tree had a beef with that lady, but no, I mean, trees don't really care. 150 years, people come, people go. Dogs come and go a lot quicker. That house has been there for it was mid 60s, mid 1960s. If you were to hit that thing, I don't know how to like bring the thing. I don't know how to do it. I mean, the best I can do is like hit that thing, and then I don't know how to do that. But yeah, so Zora so far was smiling the last we met, and she moved into another motel that allows pets, so she doesn't have to have uh, a special thing. And so when I left last time, the Zora was in the motel. The lady was on site. Oh my god, the lady. But I was just like, I don't want to die in a hoarder house. That's I don't want my guys to get harmed in a hoarder house. You know, that was it. So I don't know if you know how to hit the thing. I don't know how to hit the thing, Braxton, to do the thing. So it's if you want to like jump on here or something, I'm 100% cool with that. I just don't know how to do it. Let me try it again. Hit the present, and then yeah, I don't know how to do it. It was the same thing as last time. Invite the guest. Present. Maybe share screen, image file. I don't know. I got slides, PDFs. Oh, hey, that's the stage. Hey, you hit the button. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, how's it going? So I'm telling my story of my week. It was a rough week.
Oh,
Not, I mean, for me, like emotionally, but not like physically.
oh, oh, I get it.
So how was your week? What'd you do? Do I sound all right? You sound great.
Oh, I sound great. Yeah, on your end, it sounds all right. But as for me, yeah, the week was all right. Stormy on and off. It's gonna be that way through most of the week, I think.
Oh, the week coming up.
Yep, starting tomorrow.
Hmm.
So yeah, that and helped make some groceries and had some Italian food the other night.
Some Italian food.
Yeah, I didn't make it. Mother did.
Hmm. Yeah, I forgot to eat. I forgot to eat. Like I had to. Like I went to Subway a couple times, and I just grabbed food and I stuffed it in the fridge. And then when my stomach started grumbling, then I ate.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said you put it in the freezer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't like stuff in the freezer. If it's in the freezer, it's like it takes a lot of time to thaw out and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's the point of it. Well, well, us we put meat in the well. Usually, when it comes to corn and meat, we put in the free. Excuse me. It goes in the freezer until it's time to either cook. Time to cook it, and then they take it out and thaw it out at all. Yeah, but that's for like bologna meat and different fruits. Yeah, all that it goes in the fridge versus freezer. But
Yeah, my wife is the she's the freezer lady, so she knows how all that works. I don't know.
uh, yeah, but that's pretty. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, so outside of the rain at first, it was the heat. It wasn't too hot. It was just into like the till like the early 90s. But yeah, but I'm just hoping it don't end up being it don't end up being historic heat like it was last summer and the summer before. But if it is what it is. We'll just stay inside until it's the evening hours. So when it's hot, like at least around here, when it's hot like that, it's best to it's best to either do things in the morning time or wait until like around 7 or 8 in the evening to leave out the house.
I
But
that it's completely the opposite of like what I do. It's like I gotta be like out in the heat all day. For for what I do, it's all happens like in the heat of the day. So I gotta like I leave the house and then it gets hot and I gotta stay out in the heat and then when it come home and then rest up when it's like night and rest up at that time.
oh, I won't be going into careers that requires you to work outside. It'll mostly be white collar for me. But
It's I don't know. I mean, maybe I've been Looney Tunes my whole life. I mean, I've just never been like one of those people who's like go along, get along. I always try to fight the thing. That's it.
uh, but hey, that you continue doing you if it's been working for you all this time. But yeah, but for working outside now doing a bit of work outside for my own self around my place, and yeah, but as for the people, no. So I guess of being a handyman, doing carpentry, whatever, no, nah, pass on that. Especially I learned a few weeks ago when we were helping a family member. Well, I'm related to this woman. Well, me and my sister, my older sister, are related to this woman. I mean, yeah, to this woman's mother, and her daughter is co-workers and friends with our mother, and we found out through her mother that we're related to her mother through. through my father's side. Now, just a few weeks ago, we were helping her move some things out of her old house into a new house. Now, her new house is right up the street from where she lives. It's just a couple. It's just a few seconds away. But when we were moving things out and in, you would believe she was moving into either a palace or a mansion. That's how heavy the crap was, at least to me. And now you haven't seen me in person yet, but when you do, you will see I'm 5'6", 144, 145 pounds, 32, 34 in waist, and I rock a size 10 shoes. So yeah, I'm shortbread. So her move, so me moving, yeah, so lots of me in just in the span of 2.5 days, helping her move to, move things from one place to another. Glad we didn't have to do the washer and dryer because she's gonna have some mover guys. So she would have to hire some mover guys to help do that. Yeah, but yeah, some of her furniture, I was like, okay, how much stuff does she has, and why did her and her ex-husband believe in buying things that feels like it nearly weighs 300 to 400 tons?
Well, I mean, I've got a piano. I mean, things are hard to move.
We had one too, but thankfully I was a child when we had it, so I didn't have to move it.
I'm with that. I like heavy stuff. You know, you put stuff in place. I've got these slot machines, and they weigh a lot. I mean, I got to take the whole thing apart to move
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, you are kind of loony.
it.
No, I hate it. So no, especially like as now when we were moving some of the couches that I think I think the couch was the word. The couch is the one the couch was the word. No, she had. I don't even think that woman. I think she has three couches. No, four. I think, and they're all matching couches. So you have to put, like you have to put like their bolts together to connect one another. She has that type of couch for a living room. Uh, like when I was moving now, when we were moving it in, uh with now the U-Haul they had, now it was a bit convenient and not convenient. The convenient part was it was low, so getting so it, it was low, so so unloading and loading wasn't a problem. But the only little issue was that it didn't have that pull out ramp, and on the stickers on the inside they pointed out if you wanted a U-Haul like that, you would have to pay a bit extra. I was like, okay, well that's beautiful. So yeah, so some U-Hauls have that, and the other U-Haul that was used from some mover guys helping us move back in 2016. Now that one had like an elevator, so that was real
Oh, the lift, yeah.
convenient. Yeah. So yeah. But in our case, we didn't have neither. But we didn't have neither of that. But at least it was some convenience. It wasn't a high U-Haul, thankfully. And yeah, but moving it now her son-in-law, her daughter's husband, he was also helping us move. Now, when we got to the back of the truck, he told me that I had more strength. Again, now he's bigger than me, and I think he might be a few inches taller than me. But he told me that I was using more force and strength than him. So I'm looking at, okay, you see how small I am and how big you are, and I was stronger than you doing all this.
So yeah, I mean,
But
you're like I'm all small and stuff. I mean, you got a big. I mean, you seem like you got a big heart and all. I mean, it's that's where muscles come from. You gain muscles like broccoli when you have the mindset of like I need to get something done. You can move stuff. I mean, I've got I got a whole bunch of injuries from a lot of small guys that I've fought.
oh, that you fought.
Yeah, oh my the first one, I got this like
So I didn't think that you got down like that.
yeah, I got this a thing on my lip. It's like never gonna go away. And doctors say, "Oh, we can cut it open and stitch it up." And they did that a couple times, and it's still there. But the guy was 6 inches smaller than me, I had at least 20 pounds on him at the time, and he just did the he was a little little scrapper, and it's the scrappers that you don't pay attention to the small guys sometimes when you're larger. Uh, yeah, it's the scrappers, and I don't discount anybody whenever it comes to accomplishments. What are you going to accomplish? I don't discount anybody, and until I like I know you long enough. I'm like, oh, okay, well you're
Oh, I got you. But yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't think, well, like I said, well, looks are deceiving and you can't judge people just out their outer appearance. Yes, I didn't look for you to be the fighter type. But
Oh, I was watching the UFC last night. The USA guy. He
mm,
he he was taller, and he lost to the little Soviet man, the little guy from Georgia.
oh well, that's don't matter. But yeah, but being short has its advantages. So yeah, I'm glad I am. I'm glad I wasn't. I'm glad I wasn't. I'm glad my genetics weren't meant to make me taller. So I'm glad I am short. But but yeah, and you say I got a big heart. Well, I don't know. I guess I do, but no, I never saw myself as being strong enough. I was like, no, I'm pretty weak, but well, as I've been seeing myself, so no, so I didn't think of myself as strong at all.
Hmm. Well,
But I do appreciate it though.
yeah. All right. So, did you want to talk about stuff?
Well, I don't know how much time you have, and if you feel like it, sure.
Um, I'm like in the middle of like being awake and asleep. So I figure I'm gonna catch a nap around 7 or 8. But yeah.
All right, sure then.
All right.
What was I about to say? But yeah, and as for the whole vampire interrogation on Manamaw's show. But yes, well, I guess you would guess. Yes, you guessed me and figured me out a bit. So yep, been a fan of those. Loved them ever since childhood.
It's all right. So with the vampire, it's the mental thing that I'm really interested in. It's not the romantic side of it, and it's not the life and forever life. It's there's like like the psychologist part of the vampire part that has always intrigued me.
For me,
Um,
is what for me is it's been the cultural aspect and the aside from the other the other things that come along with their species has been the cultural aspect and the aesthetics.
mm, the aesthetics. So the vampires are pretty, right?
Well, yeah, they're meant to be.
But there's I mean it's they're so grody, like dirty, nasty, grody, like you would it was like I would think I'm sorry, I stammer um when I talk and when I'm thinking about things. It's
Mhm.
when vampires I mean they're just so gross. There's like a grossness, like they don't clean up after themselves kind of thing. Like it's like, well, clean the toilet. It's like that's not the thing vampires do. But then they present themselves as like they have the pristine toilet. It's an interesting thing.
Oh, I never known that about them. I've always known them to be clean, as far as I've been knowing.
Yeah, but they're the insides. It's the there's no God in them anymore, and that's what intrigued me. And I'm not really religious, but I trust God, and I know God. I talk to God, It's that sort of thing. And so my insides, I feel I mean, they get dirty sometimes, but I clean them up. And
Yeah.
my outsides, I've got a house where you know, I don't use like the best lawnmower. I don't use the best weed whacker. I don't, you know, uh, clean my edges and all that stuff. But it's clean. My outside is clean enough, but my inside, that's what I try to keep clean. Like I don't like I don't like to cuss. I can cuss up a storm.
I do. That's one of my favorite languages. I mainly get that from my mother's side. Yeah, but out of respect for other people, okay, this how I am. The type of well, you about to learn a more bit about the type of person I am. Now, I was drilled on respect for self and others, and plus, well, one is part of the Southern culture, but also under my parents' roof, it's just the way it was what was drilled inside of me plus my sister together. So I'm an autopilot with it. So like, I do not speak a certain way, and I don't cuss in front of people who's been around long enough to be my parents. And you always hear me say ma'am and sir and mister and miss. Even right now, I won't cuss on your panel. I said it's
I,
just in me.
I didn't even know I had a panel. You're my first panel.
Yeah. So yeah, so there you go, you have a panel. Yeah, now I don't know how long you've been around or your age. I'm assuming you're old enough to be my parent too. So yeah, so that's just how I am.
I'm in my late 40s.
The late 14, yep, you're old enough to be my parent.
Oh my God. Well, whenever I've interacted with you, I felt you were as either as old as me or older or whatever. So
Oh
that's
really? Oh really? Again, I guess so from how I spoke and carry myself, you would assume I was around your age?
yeah. I thought you were an old dude.
Damn, I guess that's what I was told about my aunt that I'm like an old man. Not calling you old, not calling you old, but that's what she told me, and I was 15 when she told me that.
It's the soul, because we've been around a long time, and that's another thing that I see things. When I meet somebody, I it's like there's a connection. So my first wife, it was like we met like 100,000 times before. My current wife, we've met a bazillion times before. And my kid, it's like we've known each other for, I mean,
Excuse me.
from not just from his birth, but when you grow up and you start to learn how people are. So he doesn't realize it yet, but I've known him like forever.
They ain't known them before y'all even had them, huh? And
Yep,
known each other before y'all even known each other. And how you only have one kid?
yep. I had
Okay,
one and done,
okay,
the perfect one.
okay, good. And how old is your son now, sir?
He's a sophomore in high school, so he's young sprout, growing like broccoli.
I remember those days. Well, yeah. Now for me on the sibling line, now it's me and my older sister. My Okay, now like right now my parents were married. Now they were together for I don't know how long they were together when they were dating, but their marriage they were married for 20 years until their divorce. And now it's me and my older sister. And okay, with our mother. Now I'm the youngest. I'm her second child. Now with my father, where I follow on the sibling line, I'm number seven.
Hmm.
So yeah, so we have the same father, separate mothers, and my mother was his second marriage, I think, or his third marriage. No, I think she might have been his second marriage, I think. So yep. So yep, yeah. So I'm the baby on on
Yeah,
on on both
yeah.
sides.
I got
So
I got I got two older sisters too, so I'm
okay.
Yeah, I'm the baby. Yeah,
Uh,
that's a dynamic that's very interesting too.
yeah, are you still with even though at your age now, are you will the because they say is everlasting. They say either the only child or the youngest child stays spoiled for life. So is that the case with you? Because it's still the case with me.
So, all right. So my two older sisters, um, we've had falling outs and coming back and falling outs and coming back and that sort of stuff because that's what you do as siblings. You fight and I grew up with one sister went nuts and kicked down my other sister's door and that sort of thing, and ran out of the house and so the dynamics of the older sisters was way worse than with the parents rather was way
Mhm.
worse than me with the parents. They just left me alone after those two. They were like, this kid's just they just left me alone. So I was like, yeah, I was left to my own things. I started cooking. I learned how to make mac and cheese by the time I was 5 years old. and
It's- it's a good start early.
no,
But as for now, me, I didn't. I learned how to use the oven when I was in middle school. I didn't start. I learned how to use the oven when I was in the sixth grade. That's when I started how to learn how to use an oven, not not the stove, the oven. Mostly, I used it for baking cookies. Now, I didn't make them from scratch. It was pre-made dough, and I
dang.
just stuck it in the oven and all. Yeah, so I started learning that when I was in the sixth grade, and when I was in the let me see, fourth, fifth grade. My dad. No, my dad's the one who. Now, my dad is the one who taught me how to iron my clothes in my school uniforms. And so I learned from. Yeah, so he was the first one I learned from, and I think I learned how to wash dishes from watching from my mother. And but yeah, but as for me, I'm still am spoiled and all. Can say because I'm the baby twice. But and
Talking about
yeah.
washing dishes, you just struck a chord with me. My my
Oh
my
yeah.
dad my dad was the baby of his uh, seven siblings,
Dang.
uh, and he didn't know when I was like 20 with my first wife living in that house in Baltimore. He didn't know how to wash dishes. He didn't know how to use the two sink method to fill up one side and let them soak, and then use the other side to actually scrub them off and then
And
put
run
them.
the water over them, yeah, and put them in the rack.
I had to, I had to teach him how to my grown. I had to teach a grown man how to wash dishes.
Shoot it, look as a well. Shit, well, that ain't nothing. As a man, well, me as well as a young man right now, I said I still need to learn how to about changing tires, putting in tires, and all jacking. A bit of handy or carpentry work with at least learning how to do it, for himself and all. And that's one of the effects of being being under single mother home is not the bad. Is just that certain things, like I said, it's not to down every single every it's not to down like I said, not to downplay all single mothers work and all, but when it comes to to the sons, so certain things they're not going to pick up around from being up under their mother. Now usually it's not always intentional, but due to the way things are now, the country, and all, yeah, it is they intentionally, like some single mothers, they intentionally do that to their sons, and that, well, it's not seen as abuse, but yes, it is. That is abuse, at
Oh
least in my
well,
yeah, at least in my view.
my son and his friends just landscaped my yard over the last couple of weeks.
Good.
All I did was grab a couple tools and grab a whole bunch of dirt. And I said, "Go to town," and they did, and
And
they
they
made
did.
them. It's I'm so my heart is like, okay, you know, there's hope. There's hope for this next generation because there's like there's a middle. So what do they say? Strong men, or strong during hard times make strong. I mean men. I mean people and all that. And I'm not.
Yeah, I
You
think it's true. It's hard times make strong men, and no strong. I think it goes hard times make strong men. I think in good times it makes weak men or something or soft men.
yeah, that
Yeah,
sentiment, right?
yeah, yeah, and better. Yeah, and better. And the other one is better. It's better to be. I think it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war. I think.
I like that one.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and now my own personal quote is I don't care. This my own personal quote is women now, and it sounds general, but it sounds general. It just sounds like a general, statement. But it holds back. And mine is, I said, this is for me. Is women, excuse me, is women will sacrifice the no, my bad, no, is men, no, men has to sacrifice their own personal comfort for the betterment of a community, while women would sacrifice the betterment of the community for their own personal comfort. That's my own personal quote.
So does that mean like I, I'm catching I'm catching that. So men, I know there's a difference between men and women with biology and the popping out babies and stuff, but
Hmm.
the emotional part of it, because I grew up with, in the household of a whole lot of women, and there is a strong difference between how, women react to the world, and how men react to the world.
Into the world, yeah. Yeah, versus guys. Well, guys, yeah, guys have to live in the way they have to live they have to live for what the world actually is. Versus like I said, and not all women they have has this mindset, and either men, and usually women wants to live in the world of what they like to see exist.
And in all honesty, I don't think I would. I'd probably be. If I didn't do, make my kid go, like, make the lawn better and all that stuff. Uh, the only reason that I do that for him, um, is to impress her. It's like putting a diamond ring on it, that they say, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
make the place better so that she can enjoy this place. That's the only reason I do it. I wouldn't do it for me. I mean, like, I would let the fence fall apart, and, and everything. I wouldn't go put mulch down and make it look pretty, unless I was trying to impress the woman.
Yep. And usually you don't have to do that. Because usually you don't have to do that. You can always pay somebody else to do all that for you.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I've done all the payment, and I've been paid to do all that. I've been paid to go make sure a woman is impressed for some, taking down trees like that. Making the place look pretty. And when it comes to making that, like, stuff, um, I'll be with clients, right? Customers, clients, and, we're we're talking about their trees, and I'll look at the tree, and I'm like, the tree's fine. And the lady says, well, I want that to look like that. And the guy's like, I'm not gonna pay for, I mean, he doesn't want to pay for it. So I'm standing, and I said, well, my job here is to give you to give you a price to do what you want to do. Whatever it is you want to do, you discuss that behind closed doors. I'm out of here. And I've run into that all the time. It's like, she wants something, he wants something, or, whatever.
Yeah. I see. And but yeah, it's important. Yes, it is important for guys on that. But still at the same time, I say, some things is unisex. When being learned about how to do different things for different different either handy things or basic things of life. So yeah, so some things are just unisex to learn.
Oh yeah, yeah. The like changing the filter on a car. Oh, he's going. All right, Braxton. Well, have a great day, man. Thank you for chatting. Um, that was cool. Let's see if we can do that again sometime.